Here, the comparison is absolutely in favor of Oman because we're talking about a brand like Trump. Entirely new districts, new territories, and communities are being built. And it is none other than the state itself, perhaps even more so than the developer, that is primarily interested in ensuring that everything is done with quality and in accordance with the original agreements. An annual increase in value of about 5 to 7% is already being observed. Accordingly, this is full ownership of real estate with all the rights and, in terms of taxes, virtually zero obligations.
So tell me, Julia, can foreigners actually purchase real estate in Oman?
Yes, of course. This happened relatively recently, but the most important thing is that it has already happened. And there are certain locations, specific zones called integrated tourist complexes, ITCs, where real estate is sold to foreigners. And most importantly, the documents clearly specify full ownership with no restrictions on the resale period, renting out the property or other similar activities. It is important for potential investors to note that once the real estate property has been officially put into full operation, the owner becomes eligible to apply for and obtain a permanent residence permit. At the same time, the residence permit is granted not only to the buyer, but also to their spouse, children, and their parents. Accordingly, this represents complete and absolute ownership of real estate with all associated rights, and in terms of taxes, there are practically no financial obligations whatsoever. How can an investor be sure that the project will be completed? It's very simple. It is rare for a project in Oman to be built without government involvement. Because, for example, the projects our company offers in most cases, let's say 8 out of 10, are created in cooperation with Oman as a state, as one of the partners, and the developer on the other side. At the same time, the developer may be from the Emirates, Kuwait, or Saudi Arabia. And on one hand, the developer brings in their expertise, their construction capabilities, designs, architecture, and brands. The government contributes land, infrastructure, electricity, utilities, and roads. And so expansion in Oman happens not vertically as in the Emirates, but horizontally. Entirely new districts, new areas, and communities are being built. And it is none other than the government itself, perhaps even more so than the developer, that is most interested in ensuring everything is done with quality, in an environmentally friendly way, on time, and in accordance with the original agreements. Because in Oman, more is at stake than just money or square meters. It's the reputation of the country, and in this case, the Sultanate, which is one of only 2 sultanates in the world. Because, let me remind our viewers, there are currently only 2 sultanates in existence, Oman and Brunei.
Thank you, Julia. You mentioned the tourism potential and the increase in the number of tourists in Oman. What projects can you recommend?
There is a wonderful, wonderful complex. It is located in Salalah, of course, right on the shore of the Indian Ocean, with a pristine white sandy beach. And throughout the entire area runs a picturesque, artificial, man-made, but nonetheless beautiful lagoon, lush with greenery, called Canal Laguna. The properties such as villas, apartments, townhouses, and those with pools without have access to this lagoon. On the premises, there are hotels, already existing restaurants, kindergartens, of course, fitness centers, places for jogging, meditation, and yoga. It truly feels like being in a 5-star hotel with full service. But at the same time, you can choose to reside personally within these properties or lease them out to tenants for additional income. This is a highly sought-after geographical region and, naturally, a complex with the absolute maximum potential for short-term rental opportunities, as well as long-term rental. At the same time, there is a flexible payment plan. You can become the owner of this property by making just a 5% down payment as your first installment. And the installment plan in this complex extends up to 3 years with various payment options. We will provide you with more detailed information depending on the units. What else would I like to mention? This is the entry threshold. You can become the owner of these wonderful properties for anywhere from $300,000 to $800,000. And $800,000 is for a 4-bedroom villa with a pool and a lagoon view. If we compare it to prices in the Emirates, of course, that's an unfair comparison because the climate is completely different and the potential for both short-term and long-term rentals is absolutely different as well. Therefore, for those investors who, for example, are considering a hybrid form of investment, when, say, you live at the resort for a month or a month and a half each year and rent it out for the rest of the time, this is an excellent choice because this complex already has completed phases. First of all, we can note the increase in value, the prices at which the units were initially put on the market compared to the prices at which they are being offered now. That is, we are already seeing about a 5 to 7% annual increase in value. That's one thing. Rental yield is 7 to 8% per year if you look at it annually. If we look at the peak months when demand for rentals from residents of Saudi Arabia and the Emirates is at its highest, then on a monthly basis, the yield can reach 10 to 11% per year. And of course, this is a great investment.
But earlier you mentioned reducing dependence on oil, yet overall Oman is still tied to oil. And usually in places with a lot of resources where there's oil, everything is associated with luxury, with brands, with some five-star hotels. Are there any projects in this niche?
Yes, there is a truly remarkable example to share. This unique community is situated directly on the edge of a dramatic cliff, sitting approximately 130 meters high above the sea level. It features a soaring architectural concept for the complex that offers breathtaking views overlooking the vast Indian Ocean. By the way, it is located not very far at all from the other complex we have already discussed, the sustainable eco-town of Yiti. It is also, like Yiti, 40 minutes drive from the international airport. But, as you rightly noted, oil means money, money means luxury, and luxury goes hand in hand with premium. That is exactly why this specific project and this entire concept is considered so premium and highly branded. It is currently being developed by a truly renowned and well-established developer who is famous for delivering multiple world-class projects across both Saudi Arabia and the United Arab Emirates. At the same time, I want to point out that the projects this developer is implementing in Saudi Arabia and the Emirates are almost 7 to 8 times more expensive than the properties he is developing in Oman. So, in this case, the comparison is absolutely in favor of Oman because we are talking about a brand like Trump, the Trump Golf Club, the Trump Hotel, which is located on the grounds of the Trump Golf Course. On the premises, there is an exclusive private club and branded Marriott residences. A unique club, the first of its kind in the Middle East, is also located at the Trump Hotel. Consequently, the total purchase price for a luxurious beachfront villa that offers a stunning view of the ocean, which comes completely furnished and features 3 spacious bedrooms, typically ranges from $500,000 to $550,000. A price point that is simply not comparable to the costs of similar properties found in the United Arab Emirates or the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Therefore, when we compare the Emirates and Oman, it is precisely in such premium, you could even say luxury, projects that the cost and the entry barrier to the market in Oman are significantly lower. At the same time, the forecasts for future rental returns are at the same level as those of its neighbors. Thanks to the brands, the uniqueness and concept, the developer's name, and the opportunity to obtain membership in an exclusive club, the Trump Golf Club, we expect the value of these properties to increase by at least 6 to 7% per year. This does not mean that you should buy and immediately resell. After all, these are not the same principles as in the Emirates. But this is a strategy choice for patient investors who can wait, who understand that they are paying for premium quality, a premium location, a premium brand, and they are willing to wait, knowing that these properties will generate stable rental income, and accordingly, thanks to the brand and unique concept, will appreciate in value. The AIDA project is truly unique. After all, this is premium quality, this is true luxury, and this is the prestigious Trump name. It is a signature Trump hotel where you can actually purchase a private hotel room, which includes the option for rental at standard hotel rates, by the way. There is also the opportunity to purchase a branded residence from Marriott with full service and again with the option to rent it out at hotel rates. Hotel rates currently range from $180 to $350. In a five-star hotel nearby, such as the Shangri-La, it's $250 to $350 per night. That's why the investors who choose property in the AIDA complex, which soars at a height of 130 meters above sea level, know how to wait. They're not looking to resell quickly. They understand that this property grows in value slowly but steadily, while maintaining both long-term and short-term rental potential. At the same time, this complex will not be oversaturated with units, maintaining its position of exclusivity, privacy, and premium quality. Because golf isn't for everyone, and the residents and buyers of the units get access to the Trump Golf Club, which is also a great advantage.